Welcome back to Cooking and Kids. Mila and I are going to show you how to make an awesome eggplant parmesan. So come and join us.
Yes, I'm ready to start. Come on.
Making eggplant parmesan takes some work. So this is why when we make it, we make a lot. Mila is doing here. She's cutting them in slices. And she's gonna line them up in a large dish. Put a little bit salt. Yes, salt is right there. Okay. So get a little bit salt on there. Yes, you don't need to have exact amount of salt, just a pinch of salt. And until you put the next thickness. Then Mila is cutting eggplant, which is just for
last one. Last one.
All right. How about this wine? It's just sitting there.
Oh.
All right.
Cheers.
Food and wine go really well together. So now that we have eggplant ready, I'm going to tell you a thing or two about the breadcrumbs, because we'll be breading these eggplants, and what I have here are homemade breadcrumbs. Or if you don't make your own, you can go and use store-bought breadcrumbs, spiced or seasoned. That would be fine. But in case if you are like me and you hate to waste food, which I really do, I can't handle seeing food being wasted, especially bread. I would just dry this bread in an oven and grind it in a food processor and leave it for events like this. So what we have here is just the plain breadcrumbs. To make them more accommodating for the eggplant parmesan, I'm gonna add plain breadcrumbs. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of garlic, granulated garlic, and a teaspoon of granulated black pepper. All that's missing is a little bit of salt. So let's just add about a teaspoon of salt to it as well. Now we're gonna mix it really well. A little bit more. And using your hands, just mix it all together. If you have a dry basil in your pantry, I would suggest adding a half a teaspoon of dry basil as well. If not, this should do fine. Another great suggestion, if you are good with the Parmesan cheese, is to add about a half a cup of Parmesan cheese to these breadcrumbs. But it's not must, it's not necessary. And what we have here, the way it is, will be just as good. But if you don't want to trouble yourself with making your own breadcrumbs, and if you don't have time, then store-bought Italian seasoned breadcrumbs are just as fine. Now we're ready to move on. So eggplant is sitting in a slightly salted. The breadcrumbs are ready. So next two ingredients that we'll need is some flour and eggs. Okay, Mila is breaking eggs, and we said we're gonna go with 6 eggs and a pinch of salt, right Mila?
Yes.
Okay, and you're gonna whip that really good. And I got some flour, so I can start and I can dip eggplant in the flour. So the first step is the eggplant goes in plain all-purpose. Mila is working with eggs. I'm just gonna finish up rolling eggplant in plain all-purpose flour. All right?
Now I'm starting to have egg and
In a bread.
banana.
Good. This is definitely kind of project that you want to do with somebody else. It's fun, and it's good to have an extra set of hands in the kitchen. We got a lot of eggplant here, so some of it will be used tonight for dinner, and the rest we're gonna freeze for the eggplant parmesan down the road. All right, and then after this we're gonna put a little bit of oil on them, correct?
Yeah, just a little bit of oil.
Okay, on both sides. Very good, and then we're gonna bake them. While Mila is doing this, I'm gonna pre-measure some olive oil, and we're gonna go with approximately a cup and a half. We might not need all of it, but just to help you with the recipe, we're gonna go with a cup and a half of olive oil, and I'm gonna use some of this olive oil to sprinkle over eggplant. I think we're gonna have many fun cooking adventures in this kitchen with Mila. Mila had for over 20 years. How many years now?
25.
25 years. She owned a pizzeria restaurant in Sweden, right?
Yes, in Sweden. Uppsala.
Uppsala. And
And Avesta.
okay, some of you might know where that is. I don't. But what I have learned is that she had a menu on which there were 50 different kinds of pizzas. Can you imagine how many shows we can do on 50 different kinds of pizzas?
Yes.
And we're gonna try to show you each one.
I can't wait to share this pizza recipe with you.
Okay, while Mila is rolling them in crumbs, I'm gonna finish up oiling them on one side. Then I'm gonna flip them and do the same on the other side.
This recipe is very easy. It takes a little bit time to do that, but everybody can do that. It's very easy. You don't need to do everything by yourself. You can invite your kids. They can help you.
Mila, you should invite your children to help you in a task like this. This is lots of fun. Everyone can have in the kitchen. Closer. As I mentioned to you, I have oiled these patties on one side. I'm gonna flip them now, and I'm gonna add some more olive oil on the other side. Here's a little more oil on the other side. And this is the last batch. I just want to go over the ingredients that we end up using for 4 eggplants. We started with 6 eggs, and we needed all 6 eggs. And we needed about 15 ounces of breadcrumbs, about 2 cups of flour, and this is a leftover. There is quite a bit left, but you actually need to put a little bit extra because you need flour to work with the eggplant. So whatever is left, you can reuse it for something else. So we work with 2 cups of regular wheat flour with about 15 ounces of breadcrumbs seasoned. You buy them seasoned, or you can season them yourself. And about 4 eggplants and 6 eggs. There was a little bit of salt and spices that we added to this, but in case if you're using a seasoned breadcrumbs, you don't need to add anything but salt. And now they're ready to bake. Ready to go. We got 2 different pans of eggplant. We're going to mix them in. Let them roast while we work on our very helpful tip. The breadcrumbs that you have left after cooking. This is a very easy way to put them back into the container. Great job, Mila.
Thank you.
A good cook knows that while you work, you should clean at the same time. It cuts the time, the cleaning time down the road. This was one of the lessons that I learned.
All the time, especially in a restaurant.
Yes.
Then we have all the time clean space to work.
That's true. That's true. When I was a child, I remember my mother saying, don't walk empty-handed. As you walk through the kitchen and through the house, always look at things that you can do and pick up at the time that you're walking, so you don't have to come back and do it again. So that lesson is still with me. So while you work and moving back and forth to the sink, it's good to pick up and take whatever is dirty and take care of it
Like
immediately.
me.
Yeah, you. Yeah, very good.
Yes, good.
Oh, the whole house smells so good. Sauce is looking good. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, this is looking really nice. Mila is not lying when she says this house smells so good. It's just, I think I'm done. Just smelling the garlic and the bread and eggplant roasting. It's just such a delight. It fulfills me in ways that any food can't. So I think it's the flavors, it's the atmosphere, it's the friendships, it's the art.
I think it's everything.
Everything together, right?
Everything.
Right.
So, cheers.
Cheers. Special moments. Some of the best times in life are spent in the kitchen with friends. And
After
family.
45.
After 45. Cheers to after 45. Regarding this amazing sauce, we won't have time to show you the whole recipe because it takes a little while, but you can find the recipe for this sauce on our channel. It's under spaghetti with sausages, spaghetti sauce with sausages. And what I have here is a bunch of Italian sausages with all kinds of vegetables. So the sauce is rich not only in a flavor, but also in nutrition as well. You can find many more wonderful recipes on this channel. So I encourage you to give them a look and check them out. And also, I would love to have you on our Cooking and Kids Facebook page. There you can find our daily updates on easy recipes and quick tips how to make your cooking experience more pleasant and enjoyable. Things are steaming around here. 10 minutes into cooking, we're going to take out eggplant and we're going to flip them. Right? Now we need
Oh,
to do.
Vlada, they smell good and they look
That
very
smell
good. Look.
really, really good. Okay, turn them around quickly and throw them back in the oven every 10-15 minutes. And I want to show you something. Come over here. We're cooking so hard, my oven is sweating. Look at that. All right, I think we're done. Time to take these babies out. Okay, they look nice and brown. Set them up, let them cool off a little bit, and then we're gonna start assembling them with spaghetti sauce. Special sauce, actually.
They
Not
look
spaghetti.
very good, Vlada.
You do, don't you, Mila? And
I can't wait to dinner.
me too, me too. All right, we're gonna give them a few minutes, and then we'll get back with you and assemble them together. And all they need to do is just put a little bit of this really nice sauce, some cheeses, and stack them up and put them back in the oven for another 10 or 15 minutes. And we should be done. I have to confess something. You know, the eggplant came out, it smelled so good, it was nice and warm, and it was just so crunchy. Mila and I had to take a break. So we sat down and we had our eggplant parmesan before it was even finished. I had mine with just a little bit of sauce, and it was the most delicious. So I can only imagine how good this will be with the Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese. And to assemble it for our company tonight, I'm gonna go with a little bit of this sauce. Just go like this. And the sauce has onions inside, celery, carrots, some zucchini, sausages, as I have told you earlier, garlic, oregano, parsley, all kinds of good herbs. So the flavors are just wonderful, wonderful. Okay, and now we're gonna add a good pinch of mozzarella to each. And there are many ways that you can make eggplant parmesan, and I'm sure some of the cooks who are watching this might disagree with our way, but this is just one of the ways, and it's delicious enough for my family, and I think it would be simple enough for all of you to try. A little bit of mozzarella. Now we're just going to top it with another slice of eggplant, and I'm just kind of looking to find a good fit for each bottom. Some larger ones will get the larger top. There we go. A little more sauce, because the eggplant will need this moisture from the sauce now that it has some breadcrumbs on it, and it will absorb sauce while it goes back in the oven. And a little more of mozzarella, and after this I'm going to add a touch of Parmesan. So just to finish it up, there we go, the Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to chop some fresh parsley. Once they are cooked, I'm going to add a little bit, just a touch of fresh parsley on each one of them. You have an option to add Parmesan before it bakes or after it's all done. It all depends on your preference and your flavor. I like mine roasted, and Mila likes her Parmesan on once the dish is ready. Yes, we're ready. But before this goes back into oven, I'm going to let it sit for about 15 minutes for all this moisture to kind of get soaked in and all these ingredients to work together before they're baked. So I'm going to set it aside on the stove for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to roast it for about maybe 15-20 minutes on 350, and serve it with the excellent fresh Italian salad. It's time to set this beautiful dish in an oven. Another 15 minutes on 360, and I think we should be done. As an addition to a recipe and a side dish to tonight's dinner, I'm gonna serve some home-baked pasta with cheese. So that goes in the oven too. I'm gonna let them cook together for a little while. I think we are done. This is looking gorgeous. Golden brown. It's ready. And pasta is still cooking for a few minutes. I'll take pasta right after this. And to serve it, just add it on the side of your favorite Italian salad, or any salad for that matter. And a touch of parsley on the side, and you're ready to host a beautiful and elegant dinner. A homemade is the best made. It was such a fun. We created something really exceptional. It was good. It was delicious. And we had a lot of fun spending time in the kitchen, chatting, talking to each other, talking to you, sharing good food and good wine. It was fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah. Very fun.
Fun. Okay, cheers. And hope to see you again on our channel and our Cooking Kids Facebook page. Cheers.
Cheers.